So I just finished visiting with Dr. Stahl in Virginia. I had to drop off another snake, but I'm also here picking up a certain somebody else. Figured we could use an update. Lady is all right. I know I had told people on the hognose groups that she's all right, but I figure since I made a video on her for YouTube, that I should show her off here. Hey, baby. Yeah, so they didn't have to cut her open. There's no incisions. They just pulled the egg out. Had to go in there with an endoscope. There we are. She's all right. A little thin, but she's alert. She's a little cold because she was inside a temperature-controlled environment, but she'll probably warm up in the car ride. 8 hours back. I gotta drive 8 hours back after driving 8 hours here. Also, I had to take the toll roads to get here faster. It's about $75 one way, so it'll be $75 back. So not a cheap trip. It was actually cheaper to ship her here. It was about $35 to ship her to Stahl's Animal Exotics. Okay, but yeah, she's back, and she didn't cost nearly as much. With all that they did, they actually credited me back quite a bit of money, so that'll help because Pogo, who is here now, is in a similar situation. She actually started dropping her eggs the night before that I was going to head out today, and so I left her in her nest box, kind of hoping that she would drop the eggs the rest of the way, maybe in the car, but she didn't. Probably too stressed out from the trip. There's not much I could do about that. I was worried that if I didn't make the trip, that she was not going to make it in the nights to come, because I have this bad habit of thinking the best will happen, and then the worst ends up happening. And I just don't want to lose the snakes. I already told Dr. Stahl if he has to end up sterilizing her, because the eggs are adhered all the way up inside the oviduct, to go ahead and do so. She's a Savannah. There's not too many who are breeding age in the United States that I know of. Of course, that could just be breeders keeping a tight lip on them. But to me, her life is far more important than introducing a new morph into the United States. She's a very energetic snake when she's not sick. It was kind of difficult to watch her on the table being examined by Dr. Stahl because she just didn't have any energy, but she was still trying to lay the eggs, which is exactly what Alice did before she passed away last year. She was, up until the moment she took her last breath, she was trying to get the babies out. So I did leave him an incubation tray. He said he has an incubator at home because he does breed his own reptiles, turtles, I believe. And he'll incubate them for me if they are viable looking. And we don't think that they're going to be viable at this point because, well, she's 21 days overdue. She should have laid the eggs 21 days ago. I'm actually shocked right now that she's still alive. I thought that I was going to look in this morning and that she wouldn't be around anymore. So I'm glad she survived. Glad she survived the trip. To have Lady back. So glad. This is the first year where a hognose has been egg-bound, and I have been able to save their lives. I'm so glad that I did not wait for my vet to get back from vacation to send her, have them do surgery, because one, they're not very experienced with it. They've never done any surgery on anything smaller than a boa, and in the case of that boa that they were telling me about, it didn't survive the surgery. So, yeah, I'm very, very, very pleased. The bill is high. The distance is long travel distance, but I think the result is worth it. And I can highly recommend Dr. Stahl to everybody, just as Jeff Gilwood did. And my only worry now is, he's one expert of one in the United States. I asked him earlier on the phone if he knew of anybody who would recommend to do these sorts of procedures, and he was like, sadly, no. There doesn't seem to be anybody else who's an expert in this field, so he's the only one, and that makes me worried for the future.